recently there has been a surge in the amount of people who are asking us about whether we should do ACCA or CFA. And as always, we thought that let's make a video covering all scenarios possible. So whether you've just given your 10th, 12th, you've finished your graduation, you've completed CA or dropped out of CA, or you're in the professional world and looking to either upskill or go overseas, ACCA, CFA, both are options for you if you want to enter the field of finance or stay in the field of finance and accounts. So in this video, we're going to talk about all the details, the difference, and if the combination actually works for us or not. And guys, before I go ahead, right, last year, or in fact, on 31st December of 2020, we had just hit our 1,000 subscriber mark on YouTube. And today we are almost at 30,000. Thanks to so many of y'all who follow us, who genuinely find value in our content and are sharing it with others. We made a new goal that by 2022 end, we want to reach 100,000 subscribers. We want to 3x our growth. And it's only possible if y'all keep suggesting what more we can do to add value to you guys. Y'all keep sharing. So please do help us in spreading this channel. We've become one of the top finance and accounting training or counseling channels in the country, and we would like to continue doing this as long as it keeps helping you guys make career decisions. So with that, the first point, the major difference between ACCA and CFA is for you to know whether you want to get into finance and accounts as a whole or you want to specialize in the field of finance. And most people don't know the difference between these two. ACCA is global CA, so it covers everything in the field of finance and accounts, and that includes your accounting, costing, financial management, audit, tax, and you can work in any field that's related to accounts, finance, consulting, advisory, etc. CFA is all about finance. Finance means money. The acquisition of money, managing of money, deployment of money is what we call finance. Accounts is keeping a record of the transactions, is keeping a way to ensure that when there are so many transactions on a daily basis that happen with your money, how do you keep a track of it that you don't lose money? It becomes extremely easy, whether it's, a lakh rupees or 10,000 crore rupees, to lose track of what money you have and you don't have, and to keep control of it if you don't maintain accounts. You can not only maintain accounts, but then you can make a lot of sense out of it. You can know how to save money, you know how to invest it, and at a higher level, looking at accounts of big companies is the right way for you to know whether to invest in that company, whether to trust in that company and the future of that company. So the difference between finance and accounts is number one, what you should know. Moving past that, CFA is all about finance. So if you are interested in things like the stock markets, like the financial markets, like things on the investment management side, then CFA is the right course for you. So before we get into it, I'm sure many of you all know that we train candidates in the field of finance and accounts, especially for courses like ACCA, CFA, CPA, CMA, and IFRS. I'll leave the number below if you all want to reach out to us, not just for training, but from registration to whether you want guidance and counseling for whether these courses are right for you all or not. The difference is, right? ACCA, you can start quite early after your 10th or 12th. CFA, you can ideally start in your last year of graduation or post-graduation. In terms of the academic structure, both you can complete within 2.5 years. ACCA, like I said, is like CA, it covers everything. CFA is a specialization in the field of finance. Both are international certifications, meaning you can work not just in India but overseas. And that's when it comes to the academics. When it comes to the scope, again, both have a lot of recognition. In fact, today morning I had a word with the director of one of these big corporations. They were saying that they've seen a sudden surge in India on ACCA specifically in this year. And that's true because more companies are hiring, more students are taking it up. So there is not only scope in India, but also in countries outside. Zell students, after completing ACCA or CFA, they'll end up going to countries such as UK, US, Canada, Australia, Singapore, Dubai, Middle East. There's just so many options available. One of our students, again, I shared it in the recent past, had completed ACCA. She wanted to go to Japan. She's learning Japanese as a language, and she randomly got a call from Nomura. Nomura is the biggest investment bank in Japan, one of the biggest in the world. And they wanted somebody from India who understood finance and accounts and was able to communicate with the Japanese in their language. So they found her on LinkedIn. She's 23, I think, and she's getting a chance to live her dream job. Most likely she can go to Japan in the future and build up a career in finance and accounts for that. So the possibilities sort of start coming over time and they start matching. So the investment in both is similar. It's between 3 to 4 lakhs depending on the time you take and exemptions you might get and the speed at which you go. Whereas the return on investment is again similar, because in both programs as a fresher, you can earn between 6 to 8 lakhs depending on where, which company, which profile, so on and so forth. Which one should you do, right? So it depends on a lot of things. First, go and talk to people who are either ACCAs and CFAs and ask them, what is their day-to-day work like? You can't really cover everybody's, profiles and companies and experiences, but find people who've been an ACCA or a CFA for, let's say, around a year and ask them what's their life like. And if you can find somebody who've been ACCAs and CFAs for 5 years and ask them what their lives are like. And if you think that resonates with you, that's what's going to happen to you in the near future if you pick up these courses and pass. It's a very good way to know, rather than going through the technical understanding of how expensive is it and what do these subjects comprise of, things like that. If you are in college, if you're an undergraduate, you'll have to take up ACCA first, because you have to be minimum in your second year in commerce, in BCom, BBA, BMS, BAF, BFM, so on and so forth, to take up CFA. So if you're younger than that, ACCA is the better option for you right now, because you don't have to wait. Eligibility wise, you can take up ACCA. If you are above second year, you have both the options. So again, it then comes down to your liking towards which subject you'll want more. Also, ACCA, CFA have these one brilliant feature in each of them, that you can invest 6 months. You'll have to invest a little bit of money, but in 6 months you can put your time, dip your toe in ACCA, complete the first level, dip your toe in CFA, complete level 1, and then realize which one you like more if you don't want to pursue both. It's a very tedious and long, but the most effective way to make a decision for yourself, especially if you're looking at building your entire career on one of these programs. Lastly, when it comes to the way I approach it, see, ACCA is broad. It covers everything in the field of finance and accounts, and CFA is a specialization. Both are great, but I would suggest if you're interested, you should contemplate even both. We have people who complete both, starting with ACCA and then CFA. You can start, as long as you have one qualification, you can start working and complete the second one a little slower, but with confidence that you'll get through, and it will uplift your career. So a combination is something which I would really recommend if you've done enough research to understand which one suits you. So I think these are the major points to help you guys decide whether you should do ACCA or CFA or maybe both. Do not depend on what just 5 people tell you. While you listen to their advice, talk to people who've actually gone through that journey and are just 3 years, 5 years ahead of you. That's really helpful. Try and understand the difference between accounts and finance better. And if you have the grit and the perseverance, then I would suggest that really touch both in terms of taking a couple of papers, give the exam, see which ones you enjoy more, and then make your decision.